So Will, we are back, and it's been a little bit of time since we last spoke. I know the video's only just come out, but there has been a big gap. Just to give a little bit of context, when we were filming like the first two videos, that whole GameStop stock market thing was going on, and now that we're filming this one, they've made an entire genuine Hollywood movie, like not reusing old footage and dubbing it over. Like genuinely, they've written it, cast it, shot it, edited it, and released it into cinemas since. That's how long it's been.
Fuck doing that though. Like, you can just do what Full Moon do and make better movies by just reusing old shit.
Dumb money in cinemas now, except probably gone by the time I release the video. On Blu-ray now. So the last two times we spoke, we watched Corona Zombies, the start of the trilogy. Then after that we watched Barbie and Kendra Save the Tiger King, the second movie of the trilogy. So I've got a surprise for you today. We're going to be watching another movie. I'm just going to start giving you some clues to what it is. So it was released in this decade, in the 2020s. It released straight to streaming, and it is about 49 minutes long. It's called Still Inside. It's by Will Glitch.
Fuck you. I hate so much.
So today we're going to be watching the final of the Corona Zombies trilogy. It has been 3 years now, and they haven't made a fourth one. So I think this is actually going to be the final one.
I think we're safe.
Will, would you like to do the honours of reading Barbie and Kendra Storm Area 51's official synopsis?
Hell yeah, I've been looking forward to this for 3 years. First they fought the Corona Zombies, then they saved the Tiger King. I like how it's in capitals, so it's like, see, it's the title of the movie.
They didn't save the Tiger King.
They didn't. They just spoke
hit
about
play
how
on
hot
the
he
TV.
was. Yeah. Now, sexy LA airheads Barbie and Kendra bring their ditzy brand of quarantine quirk on an adventure that's truly out of this world. Hell yeah. Full Moon's notorious coronaverse, that's what we're calling it now, expands anew in Barbie and Kendra Storm Area 51, the third movie in the world's only quarantine set and shot film franchise.
Yeah, but I think that's because other studios have more respect for themselves. There was that David Tennant series, but that's TV.
I see, yeah. Fuck TV. That's not high quality like Barbie and Kendra Storm Area 51. Get ready for a heady dose of pandemic panic as the dynamic duo, played once more by Cody Renee Cameron and Robin Sidney, turn on the TV and get tuned into a viral saga that takes them deep into the forbidden fortress of Area 51 and beyond, combining insanely funny new footage with hilariously redubbed retro sci-fi cinema awesomeness. Barbie and Kendra Storm Area 51 is the wackiest corona-sploitation comedy yet. Oh boy.
Obviously the title I got quite excited for. In the last video you can see me going like, oh, you know, it might be more fun because they got aliens and bad visuals, maybe some spaceships and robots or whatever. But then again I remembered the title was They Saved the Tiger King, and they didn't save the Tiger King, they just watched him on TV. This title is Storm Area 51. So are they going to storm Area 51, or are they just going to watch a movie with an alien in on TV? September 20th, 2019 was the date that everyone said they were going to do it. And obviously they were talking about it before. So this one's really late.
I think I'm mixing it up with the Battle of the Joshes. I think that's what I'm mixing it up with. Do you remember that?
But yeah, I guess how would Barbie and Kendra go to that? Maybe they wanted to do that and they were like, Area 51's similar. So Will, would you like to watch this film?
Of course. I know I had a choice. God, it's like I'm back in the comfort movie. Fuck, there's so many people involved. Yo. Oh no. Fuck.
Yes, we're back. Even though they were in the movie last time already.
That happened twice then, remember?
No, they changed the movie, and now they're just not in a movie at all, unless they're going to appear on the screen.
That looks kind of good.
Yep, there they are.
This doesn't.
More like space the final suck. Let's ghost girl.
Oh, got him.
So fun. I love your tiki bar. Right? It's so tiki-delic.
What? Is that a different sofa?
Let's go to a club. Yeah!
Please green screen them in badly. Please.
We're back to the strip club. This is the only thing that's been in every free movie. Oh god.
This is the content we signed up for.
How big must this room be for the people behind them to be so small?
They're just... the aliens made them small.
That's a very good point. This is just filming these two women just having fun.
Ooh.
Oh no, he's
the
back!
Corona zombie. It's the same one. He's really
Who
got
let
it
him
out
in?
for him. Oh, it was a dream.
Oh, a dream they both shared together at the same time. Me when Corona Zombie pulls up at the function.
Commander Banana Tits, Planet Earth, dead ahead. I'm sorry, have we met?
I'm Brick Fister, intergalactic terrorist trainee.
Fuck, this is fast.
Corporate sent me to observe.
It was the same joke. I'm sorry, have we met?
What's my surprise?
You're adopted.
Now for your second surprise.
Commander Banana Tits.
Oh, it's her actual name.
Can't wait to hear that for the rest of the movie.
I really need to get back to the kitchen.
You just lay right
Oh my god,
for
Christ.
microphones and tracking devices. Starting with the transmitter that might be planted in one of your molars.
Christ.
I'm no double agent.
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah. I always forget that like bad movies do this. Why are they both naked now?
Full moon features.
Jesus Christ.
Full moon features.
What kind of chef cooks in a polyester bikini and purple go-go boots?
These films are just like so. They don't even try and hide the misogyny. Like, you know what I mean?
A worldly being
Yo.
known throughout the universe.
Oh shit.
It's Mr. Hanky.
Oh god.
You dipshit.
Okay, bring your red gloves.
New
Bye.
friends. New people.
Are they coming? Are they down to party?
New characters.
Like 5 minutes ago, I make bomb nachos.
What are their names gonna be?
We should make them tinfoil hats too.
One was called Chippy Chips.
Yes, for sure.
I don't remember what the other one was called.
We now return to declassified. Mind-blowing shit
Oh,
you never
they're gonna
knew
answer the
about
door and it's gonna be the
Area 51.
Corona zombie anyway, never mind.
My sensors say the princess is very close.
Get me
Was
my
that the
Mr.
boom mic?
You're terminated, motherfucker.
Oh, okay.
So let's just start off this thing with just a brief, I guess, apology to Charles Band. Because
Oh, no.
we have made 3 videos essentially shitting on him and his films.
I never thought
I
about
genuinely do like some of his films. In the past, he made a lot of fun, lower quality movies. Some I genuinely do like, though. Charles Band did make the movie Head of the Family, which I actually do genuinely really enjoy. And then he's done some other stuff that definitely has its audience on the, you know, sort of bad movie scene. But I always felt like Full Moon sort of had a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So I don't want to entirely say Charles Band and Full Moon are awful, even if we have sort of been presenting it that way in this series. However, these 3 films are what we're talking about here, and they are incredibly lazy and bad, both intentionally and just genuinely as well.
I have no problem with them existing. I find it like they seem like they'd be fun to make. I think I said this last time. Like, it does seem like
Yeah.
they're just fucking about and having fun, which is completely fair. But I think once you put them on a subscription service, that's like, okay, well now I've got to pay for this.
Well, that and that there's 3 of them, I can forgive the first one because, you know, he was probably panicked, like a lot of filmmakers were, like, oh, I can't make films because I can't get people together. What am I going to do? Okay, well, maybe I can reuse some old footage and edit it together. And, okay, sure, there are people out there who do better stuff, like Demonic is a film that I like. It didn't entirely work, but it was the guy that did District 9, he wanted to do a movie during COVID, so he wrote a story where there weren't many characters in it. If you're thinking about these movies that were made sort of entirely restricted, Demonic, though flawed, is a far better example than just talking over old footage. Which, again, for the first one, sure, Tiger King is my least favourite of the 3, for sure. I think it's just so lazy, like, oh, we did one where we talked about movies and talked over movies talking about Corona. Now people are talking about Tiger King. Let's talk over movies talking about Tiger King.
When I was 17, I lost my virginity to a female extraterrestrial.
Do parallel universes
I'm glad it was a
exist?
female one. Like,
Are Karens actually evil robots from beyond?
I'll fuck it. I'll fuck an alien, but I ain't gay. Are his other films not like this? Like, they're not the weird...
His other films, his older films are all, like, you know, genuine films. They're cheap and fairly flawed and limited. That they mostly seem to have gone straight to VHS, but they're the sort of films that these films are edited out of. I don't think any of the films in this series are by him specifically, but he's done that style of film. I would genuinely recommend Head of the Family. I think that is, like, an excellent, cheap, stupid idea done well. If you're into that sort of movie, that is, like, would be my go-to. A lot of people would also recommend The Puppet Masters.
Like, the fact he's made 3, people must have been watching these.
I mean, I think it was just because there weren't as many movies coming out. People do over-exaggerate, like, oh, there were no movies. There still were some coming out, but there weren't as many, and they weren't all, you know, big tentpole movies that everyone had heard of.
Karens calling 911 on black folk.
Oh.
I think I liked this one the most.
Yeah, this is definitely the most entertaining, because you've got a lot of the weird visuals to look at. I thought the jokes were also smarter. They were still stupid garbage that anyone could come up with, but they weren't solely just saying things you've heard of. There definitely was that sort of humour in there, but there was just a tiny satirical edge in there.
There are definitely times in these films where I laugh genuinely, and other times I laugh because it's like, that's so stupid. But, like, a laugh's a laugh. But I think this one was just... I think because this one was shorter and I knew what to expect. Because with the first one, it was so fucking boring. Because it did the thing when it was, like, the dubbing of a movie, which you didn't warn me about. So then I was like, okay, well, how long is this
I didn't even know.
Be like 5-10 minutes? Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay.
In the opening credits,
I was like, this is going to be like a 5-minute
oh.
section. And then it kept going, and it was like the entire movie. I was like, oh my god, when's this going to end? And then the second one, I knew what to expect more. It was still bad, but I guess because I knew what to expect, it wasn't as bad.
But which one,
and
if you were to rewatch any of them, if, you know, gun to your head, someone who was like, rewatch one of them, I suppose you'd have to say 3 because it's the shortest anyway. But I think I would say that even if they were all the same length. I did have the most fun out of this one. And if I were to pick any of the original films to watch, I have actually, since we made the original video, I've watched both the films, Strippers vs. Zombies, Zombies vs. Strippers, whatever it's called. I watched that one.
Right, yeah.
Worthless. Hell of the Living Dead was a low-tier Italian zombie movie. It's not awful, but I wouldn't recommend it. I did not watch either of the Tiger King ones just because I don't care about that sort of film. I do like cheapo horror, so that's why I watch the zombie ones. But some of these movies looked like they're fun. They could be fun, bad movie watch entertainment.
Well, the monster effects were kind of good. Like, for the time, and like, I guess it was stop motion, but I was like, this is, like, visually entertaining to watch.
So let's get into the actual movies. So it started off with a film called Robot Wars from 1993, which is the same one that you see at the end of the previous movie. In the last video, there was a bit where I said it's made out of 3 movies, and you were like, oh, but it's only 2. But it's because I was referring to the final scene where it's Robot Wars.
So that was like a little tease of like, this is the next one we're doing. Like, this is the next Marvel character.
And then there are 2 more movies afterwards, which are the main chunk of the movie. From 1979, there's The Day Time Ended, which is the Star Wars knockoff one, because obviously that is 2 years after Star Wars.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities. There was like the set and the transitions and shit. I was like, oh my god, it's a lot here.
There was also Space Thing from 1968, which is the Star Trek scenes of the film, which are the ones set inside the spaceship, where people wear Star Trek outfits and then take them off, and then the camera just stares at them.
So is their final idea going to be, what if we go to Area 51? Oh yeah, the beach.
Oh, we're
just a different fucking island.
No, this is more like it.
I wonder.
Oh no, is that going to be the Cronus?
I really wonder. In this genius writing thing, with 3 characters, I wonder what the other mysterious 3rd character is going to be. The other stuff, I'm assuming, is stock footage, like the club and the beach.
They didn't go together awfully. Like, it wasn't amazingly, but it was like they connected them pretty well.
If this was the first one, I might not have noticed, but because of how poorly they merged the 2 Jungle movies together, when that could have been done, you know, those films came out definitely the same decade, perhaps even the same year. Or it's Corona Zombies, where they were mixing an Italian film from either the late 70s or early 80s with a film from the 2010s. They're shot on entirely different formats. They're lit completely differently. They're from a different culture as well. So the way the language of cinema worked in those 2 films, nobody could blend those films together well. Then the Jungle ones weren't very good. This one, because of those, I was looking out for it, if you know what I mean. I don't know if I would have clocked it until afterwards.
You might have been like, this is a bit weird, but you wouldn't have like known what was up. You might have just been like, these cuts are weird, maybe.
Yo, how did they film this in a real spaceship? So let's be fair to this film. I think with Tiger King, we didn't really break down the plot. And this film, they're all debatably plots. I wouldn't say they have 0 plot at all. This one I thought was more focused. Probably because they cut out so much and it was only 49 minutes.
Yeah, it did feel like it wrapped up quite fast though, and I was like, oh, it's done. Okay.
What's wrong? I just thought of something. What? Sorry, I lost it.
She's so concerned. She's like, it's never good when you think.
I just found your brain thought. Well, give it back. I need to tell you something. Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was it. Okay, so...
What is the point of all that?
Would you like to start the discussion, or should I, with the plot?
I'll let you do it, because I don't fucking know what's going on. It's aliens.
The movie
Star
that we
Trek.
just watched.
Yeah.
Do you remember what happened in the movie we just watched?
Do you want me to have a go? Right. So, there's people in a spaceship who
no, let's start at the start. We start at the start.
Is that not the start?
No.
The family... Oh, the Barbie and Kendra.
Of Barbie and
shit.
Kendra. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, my bad, so I forgot that that's the same movie. Barbie and Kendra, and they were like, fuck, how do we get out of here? Yeah, and then Kendra's like, I have this remote control, let's see what happens if I press it, and then they start jumping channels like Rick and Morty, and then they land in what they think is their reality, and they're like, hell yeah, let's watch the news because that's all we do, and the news is talking about space.
The news was terrible. Like, it was supposed to be this one channel that they were watching, but because it was built with footage of so many different channels, it kept changing, like, the logo. It's scrolling past with the old headlines. There was Matt Hancock, there was a bit about elderly people dying, which was a little bit jarring to read in this dumb, goofy alien movie. To hear, like, see a real news headline about people dying, and then Matt Hancock pops
Well, I
up.
mean, COVID's still canon, I guess.
Yeah, but, like, because it's real news footage, that's real people they're reporting dying.
That's a very good point, yeah.
It's got Tucker Carlson.
What is the legality of that? Of just using, like, news footage in your movie?
Some of it's probably public domain, because it's news, which is essentially education, right?
I mean, yeah, but this movie isn't education. Like, I assume if they used the footage of Sky News in a classroom or in an educational manner, then sure. But they've just used it for their movie as, like, plot.
Disclaimer, I am not a lawyer, so don't actually use this advice. But to my understanding, anything released by the White House, official photography, is considered public domain, because obviously America wants their stuff to be as widely used as possible, so they set it up with the good intention of, like, people are gonna promote our president, but then it legally means that you can just use their footage for whatever.
On, like, Russell Howard's Good News and all that, they usually credit what they're doing. They usually, like, at the very least, they've got at the bottom left, like, sourced from whatever, or, like, other news channels, if they use footage, is usually sourced from whatever. But here they just took it and tried to hide the logos, and were like, yeah, we'll use it for, like, the plot. So it's like, it is just stealing footage. I don't know what the copyright is there. I think it's dodgy.
It could be considered parody as well.
I think that's what they're aiming for. I think they're aiming for, like, oh, we'll use it and it's funny, so parody loophole. But that's not quite how it works. Like, they're not actually parodying it, they're just showing it.
And there's no way Sky News, like, has even seen this film, so they won't be sued.
No, yeah.
They don't know. Plus, would it be worth, taking Charles Band's money? I don't know his income, but, I don't think it would be... If Disney in Frozen 3 stole your footage, you'd be more likely to want to sue them than Full Moon Features.
Like, when you see, like, ice cream vans with, like, pictures of Mickey Mouse on, it's like, that's not legal, but who's gonna find out?
If they made Barbie and Kendra 4 or, something similar, and they used, like, our footage, I probably wouldn't care.
Right. I wouldn't care. I'd be like, fuck yeah.
If Barbie and Kendra pulled up our review of their movie, I think that could be quite funny.
I would love that. Dear Barbie and Kendra, be careful. You're getting yourself into some sticky situations, and you're gonna get yourself hurt, ladies, so be careful.
So next time, don't steal Sky News. Okay, if you want a film to dub,
steal us.
There's a great film out there on YouTube for free called Still Inside by Will Glitch.
Contact me, and I will film specific parts for your film for free. I don't give a shit. I will be the news anchor. I have a green screen. You can do what you want.
Barbie, Kendra, and Will present. What's the big headline of this year? What is there? We obviously haven't had anything as big as COVID, but we've definitely had something as big as Storm Area 51 or Tiger
We're
King.
towards the end now, so I always forget, like, what happens earlier in the year, like, once we get to the end. This year's just stupid shit, like X.
Barbie, Kendra, and Will would join Mr. Beast's creator, whatever it was called.
Barbie and Kendra drink Prime.
Barbie, Kendra, and Will go to Mr. Beast Burger. You know how in my thumbnail I put you in the bottom right? Can you do right now a Mr. Beast thumbnail face for this thumbnail?
What usually is it? It's just him, like...
He's just, like, smiling and, like, pointing, isn't he? It's sort of like
yeah,
it's like a happy soy jack.
There you go.
I can't see you, but I'm sure it was great.
It's this conspiracy network. I can totally dive deep on this stuff.
Is it the Pussy Network? Have they got like a second thing?
The Probe U network, probing deeper than any probe has ever probed. TV that watches you while you.
I like it more than Big Pussy Network. I do, but it's not good either. They start watching a pun network. I've forgotten what it was called. Probe U network. And then that's when apparently this true story, similar to how the first one was zombie movies, as if it was news footage. The second one was a film that was supposed to be Joe Exotic's childhood, adapted into a film. And then this one is basically like a true story film, true story within this universe, of course, where alien stuff happened. So we start on... I can't remember if we open... which movie we open on.
I think it's either the family in the Star Wars set, or it's the people on the ship. It's one of those two.
Yeah, and we cut between both of them, and there's not really a lot going on in the family house at first. It's just like, hey, look, these are some characters.
No.
And then they say a few modern words, so you can laugh and go like, I know what that is.
This house bussin' for real. Sheesh.
Then it cuts to the alien spaceship, which is the Star Trek movie, and then...
which is just people having sex a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of naked sex
Real
scenes.
sex.
Like, the first scene, he's like seeing if she's a spy. They're saying one of them is the imposter and that she is sus. So I'd probably play more Among Us if like that's what happened. So they strip the woman to see if she's got like a hidden microphone, or at least that's what they're saying in the dub. I don't know the context of it in the original movie.
I think during that bit where the guy and the woman are like having sex, whatever, the dub is like, oh, I'm gonna check for microphones in your mouth, whatever. I think the character just wants to have sex with her, and that's like his excuse.
I think in the original movie it's probably just a love scene, and then they wanted to add a plot.
But then why did the woman get angry and start like hurting her? Do you know what I mean? The other one woman comes in and then also gets naked and then starts like whipping her and like making her bleed. It's like, what's happening? Is this also a sex scene? Or is like, there seemed to be genuine anger.
There's only one way to find out. And then it turns out there's this big triangle, which in the dub they say it's basically an Alexa.
Trilexa.
Yes, Trilexa.
Come on now, I remember
triangle,
some things.
And Alexa, so it was a very clever joke there. We cut back to the spaceship and they're like, let's blow up Earth. And then some monsters turn up. There's a weird spaceship floating through, which is not the spaceship of the Star Trek guys, that's something else.
You're forgetting about the little girl who has T-Pain the horse, who like becomes friends with Trilexa, and so Trilexa is like helping her.
She's talking to Trilexa, and then she's like, "Oh, my uncle is smoking weed."
Doobie.
And then a little spaceship flies in, and then the monster just turns up.
Even if the ozone was peeled back like your sweaty
chest,
yeah.
their bushes
Get 'em.
would constantly burn because they're too busy tailgating and watching Dancing with the Stars to save their own planet. It's very interesting.
Remember, this is being aired on American TV, which doesn't even let you say the word dick uncensored. They park on Earth, and then there's two random people, two random ladies, just getting down to business.
They got off of the ship and came onto the land, because there's 4 of those women who, there was the 2 who were like making weird noises, and then there were the 2 who like end up having sex with her.
But what was the plot reason? What was the plot reason that they were doing that?
I don't know.
Obviously the reason is the director of that film wanted to see some naked ladies, and then Charles Band wanted to see some naked ladies to be edited into this film. What was he called? Brick Fister? blows up the spaceship
Big Fister, yeah.
in new footage because it's a
He did a big sabotage.
So I don't...
Which actually looked pretty good, to be fair.
Well, because it's new footage. And then it turns out, surprise, that the little girl who was attacked by the spaceship is an alien.
But they kind of throw that in mid conversation, and it's like, oh, this is important information. She's like, I'm an alien, and then Doofy's like, oh, I knew you were good for something. Here's a bear. And then the guy's like, mission accomplished, and then the film ends.
The film's just got to end. They ran out of footage.
Oh, but it doesn't end because it goes back to Barbie and Kendra. Fuck, Chippy Chip was an alien.
I'm just renting you extra testicles. Time to trip.
I think you hit the wrong button.
Oh, this is bad.
The whole green screen is fucking bad, man. It's like the planet explodes and they're like, fuck, but we're still alive, which takes them a while to realise. And then they're like, oh, I know what happened. I think this is what they think. It's like, when I pressed the big TV remote, we went to a different universe of Earth, but yet we're watching TV from the original universe.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
There's not a zombie outside. Chippy Chip was all a ruse. It was actually
an
a
alien
big spaceship. Yeah, and then they look up at the sun or whatever and the moon, and it's reused footage of the Corona zombie going, yeah!
If they had him on set in the makeup, why didn't they just then film an extra shot of him doing something?
I don't think there are multiple takes within this film.
There's no reason for this to be connected to Corona zombies. Like, they just have earlier on, which we skipped over. We skipped over in the discussion because it meant nothing to the film.
Yeah, because it's just them being like, ha, look how stupid we are, haha. And then changing dresses and changing clothes every couple shots.
Which I respected, because it's not all done in one room. Because Corona Zombies, there was 3 sets. There was... Well, sets is generous. It's literally just Charles Band's house. But there's the sofa where she sits on. There's the shower scene where she has a shower with her clothes on.
What, in the first movie?
Yeah. And then there's the garage, or what do they call a garage in America?
Garage?
Yeah, they just say it different.
Oh god.
Yeah, they're in the garage and she touches the paper.
But I think that's one of the reasons I like this one the most, is because the Barbie and Kendra stuff, while it's stupid, it's like entertaining. And so like for the second movie, I remember being like, I want more Barbie and Kendra, fuck this other shit. And this movie, they actually did a lot more of it. It wasn't just like 2 scenes of them.
They were outdoors at one bit. They set up a little tiki bar.
They did, for some reason.
They might have just set it up anyway and just decided to film there, but still more visually interesting for us. There's terrible green screen into locations, which obviously is fairly easy to do, but again, more visually interesting. We get to see more stuff in this film.
Yeah, they put a lot of effort into costume and hair. They had like 3 different hairstyles throughout the movie. They had like different makeup for the alien stuff. They had like probably like 5 or 6 different costumes.
Which for a film shouldn't be, a shock, but compared to the other 2 films,
like you can tell by like how weird their heads look, that they've like upped the intensity quite a lot. That's reused footage. Also of him saying Rona. I remember seeing it earlier.
Wait.
No! We haven't even touched on like the actual ending of the film yet, because isn't more happen. Like they're like, oh god, Corona zombie son or whatever, and then they're like, let's press the remote again, and then they get put into bad chroma key land where their legs aren't there and they're really like the skin's really like cut off because of how high the intensity of the editing they put.
I'm guessing they were setting up for number 4.
Oh, you haven't even touched on the fact there's a to be continued. I think that's why there hasn't been any more. They haven't got any more ideas.
I mean, there's so many Full Moon films that they could just use the footage of. Although, I don't know, because technically, if you're looking at genre, like thinking about the 3 Flavors Cornetto trilogy, you've got zombie horror, then you've got cop movie, buddy cop movie, and then you've got sci-fi. And this follows a similar pattern. You've got, early on, you've got the zombie horror, then you've got a jungle movie, and now you've got sci-fi. I don't know, most of the full moon movies are sort of like sci-fi or horror. So I don't know if they have enough, even though they have loads of movies they could use, I don't know if it'd be different enough genre-wise. I don't know if they have enough romantic movies out there to do a like romantic funny movie or a funny cop movie, or I don't know if they have any of these other side genres. I think that could be why, because yeah, they could reuse some stuff from like the Puppet Master movies, but maybe that they're a bit more precious about them because they're actually Full Moon's most famous. Who's going to be annoyed? Like, oh my god, they used Luana and Terror in the Jungle. That's my favourite movie, and they've ruined it.
They ruined the sex scenes.
Back when COVID was all, obviously it's still around now, but it's taken a whole lot less seriously. There's far less restrictions, so he can now go out and film real movies. Like, sure, it is a movie. Like, we watched it and it was feature length, just about, and it had kind of characters in the plot, but you know, a more traditional new footage movie. He can make those now.
Yeah, maybe it's just like if COVID keeps going, and which, you know, to the extent it was, and we still can't make movies, like, I'll put this here so that I can still make films.
If you were in the writer's room for Corona Zombies 4, Barbie and Kendra 4, what would you suggest to him?
Like a disaster movie or something, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I don't know what they have the rights to. It obviously that impacts it, but yeah, I guess a disaster movie could work.
Because disaster movies are like kind of inherently silly.
Yeah,
like,
especially
like
on
Sharknado and yeah, Sharknado and Birdemic, even like Moonfall and shit like that. Like, you go into them knowing they're going to be silly and kind of dumb, and so I feel like you could make a movie like that, doing the whole dubbing thing.
I do think your idea of a disaster movie could work, and it would be, you know, if they were to make a fourth one, they could film more new scenes, so it could work a bit better. I think we
should make it. Me and you should make Barbie and Kendra 4.
Well, which one of us is Barbie and which one's Kendra?
That's a fair point. What I meant is we'll make the movie part, like, you know, the dub part.
You are not allowed to use the word alien anymore. The proper term is extra testicle. My bad, but you're totes right.
Cody, the one who plays Barbie, was in El Camino. That can't be right.
Yeah, no, she's been in she's been in small roles in bigger movies. I do like your idea now. I think yours is a better idea. I was going to say, I reckon they've probably got some vampire footage they could use, because that, I think they could make that sort of, no, that could be like final, right? Like the vampire could suck the blood that's got COVID in, and then somehow that, like, then that ends COVID.
Corona Zombies versus Corona Vampire.
That sounds like a title that Full Moon would put out, actually, because they've got Dollman versus Demonic Toys. They've got Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong. Why not Corona Zombies versus Vampires? Charles Band, do it.
They've got to film unique footage, though, of a vampire and a zombie fighting.
They'll use old footage of a vampire film and old footage of a zombie film that never interact until the end, when we get new footage of the Corona zombie, the same actor. Let's bring him back. We love him. He's an icon. And then you get, I don't know, let's get Charles Band in it. I want to see him in a Dracula cape that he's bought from like Poundland. A little bit of white makeup on him.
There you go, Charles. We've given you two brilliant ideas there.
Corona Zombies 4 and 5, all we ask is that Barbie and Kendra pull up our review in the movie.
It's a simple request. If you can take footage of everything else happening in the world, regardless if there's mentions of dead people in the bottom corner, I'm sure you can bring up a clip of like you can fit it in the plot somehow.
If you want to dub a movie, we'll dub over Will's movie. I'll supply some voice acting for you.
You can do something of Barbie and Kendra being like, "Oh my god, we're famous! Look." And then they're like, "Oh my god, some assholes are talking about us on X," and then just show a footage of us just shit talking.
Come on, let's do it. Let's do a scene for him now. Let's do a scene for him. Have you heard about this woman called Barbie? Oh man, I don't like her.
Nah, my god, her friend Kendra's worse though.
Oh my, don't even get me started on Kendra. For real.
I can't fucking deal with their shit anymore.
Like, you know that Barbie, right? One time, right? I don't know how,
Yeah.
but I saw her shower. She was wearing clothes. What's
That's
that about?
fucking weird. I only bath in clothes. Showering in clothes is strange. Alright? Sort your shit out.
What sort of
She's
stuff
not gonna see this.
does Kendra
Wink.
get up to in her free time?
I don't even want to know. I bet that she has some kind of... She's been telling the world that she has some, like, magic TV remote that, like, makes her move dimensions. It's like, no you don't. It's fake news.
If I was in a TV film, what film would that be?
Is the scene over?
That's when, like, they could edit me into the film and just, like, key me out, and I'll just appear in like, I'll be in I'll be in retro Puppet Master next to Greg Sestero, my old pal Greg Sestero.
See, now I want them to make more, because I never really thought about the whole thing of, oh, they've been doing loads of different genres. It's like, yeah, they could try and do, like, I know you said about they need to be full moon productions or whatever, but like, just
I mean, they
ignoring
don't
that,
technically need to, as long as they can get the rights. So any public domain movie they can use. So Night of the Living Dead they can use, that's public domain. What's the famous porno movie? Debbie Does Dallas, that's public domain. I reckon Debbie Does Dallas could fit into this universe very well, because this movie has a bunch of, like, people getting undressed and doing certain things. Could we say it on camera that they can use Stay Inside? If they can work it in, they can use it.
Stay Inside, that's not the name of it, sure.
What's it called?
Yeah, sure,
Still
go
Inside.
ahead.
Still Inside,
yeah.
I got most of the letters.
You have permission, as long as you credit me in the credits, to use footage.
But
from
only if it's in the Barbie and Kendra / Corona Zombies, right?
Oh yes, of course, yeah. Only this is
They can't.
only.
They can't put in Evil Bong 9. That doesn't count. It's gotta be Barbie and Kendra in the title. We'll get the guy that plays Uganda Jones or whatever his name was to do your voice.
They should use the clip of me watching myself back in the cinema room and just like really badly mask over like footage of Barbie and Kendra.
I will not be bitch slapped.
Is there a smudge on their camera, by the way?
Yeah.
Maybe we should call
Look at her bottom, her left
This is
shoulder.
a particle of dust.
Barbie?
That's why you can sort of see through it. Yeah, I think that wraps up our Barbie and Kendra. I'm sure I'm gonna be annoyed at myself for not saying something when I edit the video. But that pretty much covers the trilogy. How do you feel about this journey we've been on together?
It's been interesting. I had blonde hair at the beginning, and the first movie was like really unsatisfying to get through, and then the second one was better, and this one I quite enjoyed. So I've really come around to Barbie and Kendra, and I think, you know,
we've had our own little character
near and
arc.
dear to my heart. Yeah,
we had more character.
We've had a character arc. They haven't had a character arc. I have since okay. His perspective into how long it's been. Since the first movie, I have now decided to start university, and I'm in the second year of university, and I've basically finished doing YouTube. That's where we are in terms of that. But you know what? I wouldn't be where I am today if it were not for Barbie and Kendra and their fun little activities.
made me the man I am today. Did the Barbie and Kendra movies inspire Still Inside?
Sure, we can pretend that happened, yeah.
And now that we have finished this beloved trilogy, I have been holding off a little information for you about our potential future. So this is the last Barbie and Kendra / Corona Zombies film, but there is a movie, the 8th film in the Evil Bong franchise, stars Cody Renee Cameron and Robin Sidney as Barbie and Kendra, and John Renke as himself from Tiger King. They appear in Evil Bong.
Is that the guy they
8.
interviewed?
Yes. So, Evil Bong 1 through 8, and
I thought I was finished.
The Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong, and the 3 Ginger Dead Man films, and the new spin-off movie, The Ginger Weed Man.
She's Barbie. I haven't known which one's which until this point.
She's blonde, so she's Barbie.
Oh, of course. Wait, is that Barbie and Kendra? Is that the idea, Barbie and Ken? But they're just both female. How did that take you 3 years to get?